Hey, what's up, guys? I thought I'd make a quick little video for you guys talking about coaching and online diets. I feel like because of supply and demand of competitors, new competitors hitting the scene like Men's Physique and Bikini, there's been a demand for more coaches. So you have a lot of new people that see competitors or see people on social media or magazines and they say, I want to do that, but they don't have 5, 10, 15 years of experience under their belts, so they need some guidance and assistance, and that's where we have all these coaches coming out of the woodworks. I mean, if you look back in the 90s or even before then, there weren't that many coaches. Guys helped each other out. There were some gurus and some coaches, but not nearly as many as we have today. So everyone's kind of reaching out and asking questions, wanting help, but not wanting to put the time themselves or not wanting to invest in a good coach. And what I say to people about that is either you have two ways of doing it. You got to do your research, find a good, reliable coach that you can depend on and go forward with, or just tough it out. Do as much research as you can, as much reading as you can. Google it can be your coach if you're smart enough and you apply it. But if you're looking to just start working out and in 6 months be on stage and qualify for the Olympia, I don't think there's any coach, any diet plan, or anybody that's really going to help you out. But that being said, the reason I made the video is because I want to talk about what a coach is, what a coach is supposed to be, and about these diet plans and workout plans that guys are buying online. First of all, when you go to someone, you buy a diet plan or a workout plan and they give you one diet for X amount of weeks, if you don't have the knowledge to put together this diet on your own, you probably don't have the knowledge to change the diet. So after 1 week, after 2 weeks, after 3 weeks, what if you outgrow the diet? What if you start putting on fat, or you're not reacting well to the diet, or you don't feel good, or you're losing too much weight at a fast rate? What are you supposed to do? So you paid for this diet, but the diet doesn't evolve, it doesn't change with you, it doesn't adapt. If you get bigger, if you get stronger, if you put on weight or lose weight, like I said, there's nobody looking overseeing you. And same thing with the workout plan. I mean, you purchase a workout plan from someone, what are you gonna do that every single week for X amount of weeks and months? My workout sometimes changes every single week, sometimes it stays the same. My intensity techniques that I implement change, my actual routines change, my rep ranges change. It all goes based on what my goals are and frankly how I'm feeling. So that brings us on to the next level. It's a little bit more costly than just buying one workout plan that's probably a workout plan or diet that's probably not catered or tailored to you. And when I say tailored to you, when someone comes to me for coaching, I take all the information I have of the person, their current weight and condition and training and diet, and exactly what they look like based on what they're eating. You tell me what you're eating now, and you don't lie about it, and I see what you look like. And then if you have older competition pictures or just really good shape in the past and what you did to get into that shape. So you take all these things into consideration. I start a starting point diet. From there, within 5 days, I need update, I need pictures, I need weight, I need details on how you feel, how the workout was. And from there, we change the diet accordingly. I might hit the nail on the head the first time, might stay the same for a few weeks. But that's what a coach is supposed to do. It's not supposed to be someone just giving you something and turning their back. You need someone to keep an eye on you. That's what we do in bodybuilding. We train, eat, and look. Train, eat, and look. Train, eat, and look. We weigh ourselves too, but the eye is a better judgment because you might gain or lose weight and it might not be part of your plan, but you might end up looking better. Or that weight might be water. It might have nothing to do with the actual macronutrients or training, but has to do with something very simple that a lot of people mess up, sodium. So again, when you're looking for a coach, you want someone that's going to be hands-on. Even if they're not physically in the same state as you, they need to be looking at your body. You need to be sending them progress pictures in the same place, the same time of day, the same lighting. You need to be filling them in on how you feel. They need to be asking you questions. How do you feel? How's your pump? Do you feel like you're tighter? I think you're tighter. So on and so forth. That's what coaching is. And the longer you're with that person, the better they learn your body. They say, okay, this guy reacts really well with fats, reacts better with fats than carbs. Fats and carbs are both our energy sources. They're our fuel. The body usually will use carbs, glycogen, glucose for muscle glycogen before it'll use a fat for energy. We just run better on carbs, but some guys work better on higher fats. And these are the little things that a coach is supposed to not only teach you, but figure your body out over a period of time of monitoring your diet, monitoring how you look, and bringing you in, dialing you in for perfect shape. It's not, here's a diet, follow this for 12 weeks, let's see what you look like. And I keep hearing disaster stories from guys, and you can sit there and blame the coaches, or you can sit there and blame the guys. Like, why are you picking these guys? Just because they look good? I mean, just because someone did a show and got himself in condition doesn't mean he can get others in condition. Because you understand your body to a certain degree, or you trained hard, or you have great genetics, whatever the case may be, doesn't necessarily make you suitable to be a coach for others. You have to understand the human body. You have to understand implementing different protocols and techniques. I know that I like this style training, this style dieting for me. Although I've tried many different protocols and techniques, and I've gotten into shape with many different diets, but I know what works and what I prefer for me, but that doesn't mean it's going to work for every single other guy. And also, I know how I train. I know I train very hard, I train very heavy. I can give the same protocol to someone, but I don't see him in the gym, and he tells me he trains hard, but then I'll catch a video of him on Instagram not training really hard. So that changes everything, So I hear a lot of nightmares of guys kind of getting ditched by their coaches, the coaches turning their backs on them. And I think I hear that a lot coming up into the last 2 weeks of a show. And I really think that the reason for that might be just as simple as it's a really tough time and they just don't know what to do. They don't know how to dial you in, and they disappear on you. I can't think of any other reason why you would split on somebody that trusted you, paid you, and instilled a certain amount of faith in you as their coach. I mean, I personally get some satisfaction from helping someone get into good shape. If someone comes to me and I just know that it'll be a waste of time, that they're not going to give it their all, or that they don't have what it takes, not physically. I think everyone can progress and get better, but a lot of people just think they'll walk into the gym, hire a coach, post pictures on Instagram, and they'll be like this top bodybuilder. And it's not fun working with people like that, because people like that usually just don't get results. And someone pays you, that's great, but it's not an enjoyment for me personally to work with someone that doesn't get results. And honestly, the fees, when you break it down, like personal training, for instance, which most normal people do, versus coaching in the bodybuilding world that we have. It's mainly just in our bodybuilding world. Not many people have coaches. It's a great value, and I'm not trying to sell it or anything, but people will pay $50 to $100 an hour for personal training, anywhere from 1 to 3 times a week. That's $400 and up. Could be over $1,000 a month. Most guys are charging $200 to $400 or $500 a month for coaching, and you're getting routines that are supposed to be catered to you and diets that are always changing. When I say that, I give somebody a diet that we start working together. In a few days, I look at their pictures and I make adjustments. Sometimes it's perfect, it's going well, I won't make much adjustments, but in the future there will be adjustments depending on if they're off season trying to get bigger, or if they're dieting down and trying to get leaner. And also the training routine, I don't just copy and paste my training routine. I don't just do lat pull down, deadlift, bent over row, because those are the exercises. I'll look at the guy and I'll see, okay, his rear delts are weak. He clearly needs more side delts to make his waist look smaller. His legs are great, but again, his waist is a little big, so if you get the outer sweep on his quads, it'll make his waist look smaller. Lower lats, his biceps need to be filled in a little bit. He has high insertion biceps, let's just say. The delts and the biceps are overpowering the triceps. You have to cater your training routine to your body. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, where do I need to fill it in? It's no different than an artist working on a sculpture, a clay sculpture. They add clay where they need and they carve away where they don't. We do the same thing, but we'll see where we need, and we go and we eat and we train and eat and train for weeks and weeks and weeks instead of just slapping the clay on. Unfortunately, it's not that easy, but that's what builds our character, builds our mentality, builds our mental toughness, and that's why bodybuilding is so amazing. It's a science and an art at the same time. And the sooner you guys realize that, the sooner you will progress. Just going through the motions is not enough. You can't just punch in at work and make tons of money. You have to really be dedicated to your job. You have to punch in, do your best, work hard, always be learning, always be evolving at whatever career or job you're doing to be the best, to make more money, to have financial gains. And bodybuilding is no different. I see people in the gym all the time. They walk into this structure with heavy weights that you lift in awkward positions. I mean, in awkward angles and movements. It's a pretty funny and dangerous thing if you think about it. We go to school to study for a certain career. Then out of school, we go into training or internship. Then we apply for jobs. We start at a lower level in a company or wherever you are, and you work your way up. So what makes you think you can just walk into a gym and become a bodybuilder? You have to learn. You have to study. It's no different. You can't just walk in and apply for a job without any education or background in that position that you're applying for. So bodybuilding is no different. I'm not saying you have to drop everything in your life and study bodybuilding just to be in shape. No, but you got to do a little bit of research. You know, maybe you start working out, go on the computer at night for half an hour, a few nights a week, and do a little bit of research on post-training nutrition, pre-workout nutrition, you know, muscle gaining routines, strength training routines. Learn a little bit about a vast variety of training and dieting and put it together for yourself and then practice. I mean, that's what I did. I didn't have YouTube and Instagram and Facebook when I started out. I had some magazines and I had some old school guys in the gym, and I had no clue what I was doing, but I was really hungry. I loved bodybuilding, and I just pushed. I worked and I did a lot of stuff that was wrong, but I did it hard. I did it with faith. I did it with passion. I didn't doubt myself. And now here I am. I mean, I've done a lot of things that I look back, I said, wow, that was so stupid, but I didn't know, and I learned. So you guys got to put a little bit more attention. Sometimes I'll post something up and somebody will ask me a question that's already answered in my post or in my video. If you're that lazy that you're not going to listen or read, or go further, if I post my YouTube, like, I'll go watch this is a clip, go watch it on YouTube, and the questions that people are asking me are all answered in the YouTube video. I mean, look, I took the time to make the video. Just go watch it if you're really curious and you really care. If you're that lazy that you're not going to watch it, you're not going to read one line that I wrote that's answering your question, then you're probably not going to take the advice in the video or the advice that I give you when I answer your question. You're probably not going to train the right way or eat the right way to get anywhere. I mean, these are traits that some people have and go on to be champions and others don't. So I hope this video was good for you guys. I just don't want you to waste any time or money on bullshit routines or people promising you something that is not really going to happen without the proper knowledge and guidance. A coach is supposed to guide you, be your mentor in a way. And I understand online coaching is not the same as having someone in person, but I've been very, very successful with a lot of people doing it. And I'm not saying I'm so great, I'm a great coach, but I give them attention and they give me hard work back. There's been many guys where it went terribly. I don't hear from them. They don't really give me progress reports. I don't really feel like they're doing what I say. And I have other guys that I can tell right off the bat, right when we meet, the way they speak to me from day one, that they're dedicated and they're going to do whatever I say. And I don't think you should do what anyone says. And if someone tells you to do something and it's off the wall or you think it's dangerous to your health, you should absolutely question it and ask them why this, why that, and see what type of answers they give you. If they give you intellectual, good answers with reasoning, then it's your choice. Go forward, but don't just listen to someone because they have a nice six-pack or because they want to show. I mean, that's great. They're definitely somewhat knowledgeable to get into shape, but that doesn't make them a guru or a coach by any means. So be careful, guys. Do your research, do your reading. YouTube, Google, there's a ton of free info out there, and good luck.